Perfect. We're going to talk about how to complete my team and engage donors. So if we want to go right to the first slide, that would be great. Here we go. Okay, so how do I set up my team page? You actually don't need to set up the team page. We do that for you. What your team page looks like is based on the information that you provide to us. So that includes, in the second bullet here, your logo, your cover image, your video, if you choose to do a video. So maybe the best way to sort of illustrate what the team page looks like is to pull up, Justin, could you share the main giving page? Great. So this is the main giving page. And if you just keep scrolling, Justin, we'll show you a team page. If you click here on the Kumu top team page, yep. This is a team page. Your logo would be in the place that you see the Kumu logo. You see that the music or the marching unit has a title. We create that title. We create the look here. If you keep scrolling, Justin, you'll see the image. That's your hero image, or that's like the image that best shows people right away who you are. And then your case for support follows. So the case for support is exactly why you are raising money, what you need it for, why it's important, how you're going to accelerate and promote and improve your organization and your goals because of the money you're raising during 1866. And if you just keep scrolling down to the bottom, you'll see that on the day of, you will be able to see the donors that are giving in real time. And if you scroll back to the top there, Justin, you'll see that not only is this your team page, this is also a place where if you have students or faculty or fellow coaches, any colleagues that want to personally outreach to donors, they can become team members. They would do that by joining a team, which is the button under the logo, and you don't have to click on that today, Justin. But you will see that marching unit actually already invited me to one of their practices, and we were able to include the students from marching unit. If you click on members, Justin, you'll see that many students signed up. These are marching unit students. They have personal goals. Some of them chose $250 as their goal. Some chose $500 as their goal. You could encourage your team members to be as ambitious as you'd like. Questions about that? If anybody is interested, either I or one of my colleagues is happy to attend one of your club or team practices or meetings. We would be really happy to just 10-15 minutes, show people how to sign up as fundraisers and get them onto your team page as well. Thanks, Justin. We can go back to the slides. Perfect. Please know that when we're developing your team page and when we're signing folks up to be fundraisers, we are emphasizing that no gifts should be made prior to October 25th. So when we're registering fundraisers, it's always very, very tempting, and some people go ahead and do it anyway, and they give that gift. That gift is unfortunately not going to count in the total for the 1866 challenge. We are very extraordinarily literal about those 1,866 minutes of giving. We like to adhere to that time frame, and we're really think it speaks to the integrity of the university and the foundation to report those numbers accurately. We can go to the next slide. When can I preview my team page? We keep the actual giving page closed and unpublished prior to the 25th. The reason we do that, again, is because it's just so tempting. People are so eager to give to these teams, and they're so eager to participate in 1866 that we have to keep it quiet, and we have to keep it closed until the day of giving. Because of that, you can't go to your link or your team page prior to the 25th. So in order for us to feel like you've been able to see the page, feel comfortable with the page, we're going to do our best to take screenshots for you, send them to you for your approval, just so that you know what it looks like and you feel comfortable and confident that it is representing your team and your fund. Please remember that the deadline, absolute deadline, is Friday. We cannot guarantee a screenshot and approval if your materials are not into us by Friday. We are in crunch time, and our staff is working rigorously on not only finding donors for our teams, but we're also working really hard to put this presentation together and get the website up and running in time for the 25th. You will be given your unique link at 6 a.m. the day of the giving challenge. So the giving challenge starts at 7 a.m. You're going to get that link at 6 a.m. When you get that link at 6 a.m., it's still not going to work. So don't panic. When you click on the link, it will not work until 7 a.m. We will open the page at 7 a.m. on October 25th. We also have incentives and challenges that will be included in that email. Excuse me. The email that you're getting at 6 a.m. will lay out the schedule for the day. It will tell you those incentives. And we're going to talk a little bit more about incentives in the next couple minutes here. We encourage you, if you know folks, a donor or somebody who is really passionate and wanting to support your team, and they would like to incentivize other donors, please send them our way. Make that connection. Let us know that you have someone who would like to post matching dollars. We can plan for those ahead of time. We will not accept those one-off gifts ahead of time, but if somebody is willing to motivate others by putting up a matching dollar goal, then we will do that. So the example is, if you have a donor who's like, I would really like to match the first $500 made to your team, meaning, you know, they're giving us $500 to incentivize other donors. So if someone first thing in the morning gives $50 and you have that $500 sitting here, that $50 gift now becomes $100 because we're taking 50 out of that 500 and matching it. So it sometimes is just a really fun way for folks to motivate each other. And it makes people feel like they've doubled their giving. And it is something we use and find really, really effective way to gain more support. If you could go to the next slide, unless anybody has questions. So who are your donors? Your donors are folks that you really personally are reaching out to. So on top of what we do as a foundation, we rely on all of you to be effective fundraisers as well. Our job is to publicize this on our alumni websites, on our social media. We are sending emails to our alumni as well that are very targeted and informative. We're listing teams in those emails so folks can look for those teams that are speak to what they love most about KU. Your job is to share the social media that we are posting. It's to create social media on your own platforms and talk to what your team is doing and why it is making such an impact on students at Kutztown University. The donors that you're looking for are colleagues. They're former, especially for students, this should say former employers, not employees, but former employers, so former folks that you've worked for in the past and formed really good relationships with, former coaches, former teachers, mentors, and of course, family and friends. If you have family and friends who are supportive of what you're doing at Kutztown University, those are the folks that really are meaningful to you. And because those folks are meaningful to you, hopefully what you're doing will be meaningful to them. I oftentimes, and many of you have probably heard this story already, I oftentimes illustrate this by telling people I was a former coach. If one of my former athletes called me, texted me, emailed me and said, look at what I'm doing at Kutztown University, I'm really excited about this program and I'm fundraising for it, will you support me? I will be hard pressed to say no. So please reach out to those folks who have supported you in the past in any way. And you might be surprised at the support that you'll get during 1866. Questions about that? I do want to make sure that you realize our website, which is kuf.org/1866, has examples of social media posts that you can use. You can use those just by copying and pasting them and putting them on your own platform, but you could also use them to share, like sharing our posts. There's graphics that are pre-made that you may use at your convenience. And we could probably just show a few of those. Justin, if you have the toolkit, there we go. If you scroll through the toolkit, which you can find on our website, it of course has Classy page, the things that we need to build your Classy page, but then there is a social media portion. In this section of the toolkit, you will find messaging. I plan to support KU for 1866 Challenge on the 25th and 26th. Join me with the link. There is lots of opportunity for you to use the links and messaging that you find here. So please feel free to use them. It's just there so that you don't really have to think too hard. It's already built for you. Thank you, Justin. We can go back to the slides and feel free to personalize those as well, or do a quick selfie video about the message that you're also sending, and you will include that link. Questions about how to find donors. If you have questions, if you're really lost about who the donors are, who you're trying to reach, please, reach out to me, send me an email, make that phone call. We'll have a quick meeting and we can brainstorm about ways to do that. Okay, Justin, we can do the next slide. Maximizing your impact. So these are the incentives that I was talking about. When you receive your email at 6 a.m. on the day of the giving challenge, it will list the incentives. These are ways to maximize your impact is by following that schedule. An example is Power Hour. So during that allotted hour of time, which again will be illustrated on the schedule, every donation will be matched dollar for dollar up to whatever our amount is. We're working on acquiring those incentive dollars right now. So if it would be $5,000, every gift up until that $5,000 is exhausted will be matched. Some of our power hours and incentives might look different this year. Not everything's going to be dollar for dollar. Some of them will be based on participation. Some of them will be based on the number of donors you acquire during that hour. So for example, if we open up a power hour and it's based on donors, it's going to be a race to see who can have the most individual donors during that hour. You might have soccer might get 50 gifts in an hour and somebody else might get 25. And so we're just looking for those teams who are really going to put in the work during that hour to reach as many folks as they can. You could also, like I said, create little incentives of your own. For example, field hockey one year wanted to reach 50 donors. So when they surpassed that goal of 50 donors, they released like a blooper reel that they made on their own at a practice. And it was just like a silly video that felt good and entertained folks on their social media. That's a great way to just sort of engage your donors, engage your audience. And also when they're having a good time and they're seeing you have a good time, it just will motivate them to share with others that they gave to your organization. I do want to emphasize that is part of philanthropy, is sharing the message. So when you receive a donation, it's a great idea to reach out immediately and thank that person, and then also say, hey, would you mind sharing that you just gave to us on social media? Or would you mind sharing with others, with your colleagues, that you gave to us, and feel free to share my link. That's how we gain momentum, and that's how you gain more followers and participation during 1866. Okay, let's head to the next slide. What can we expect next? We are looking to have all materials by the end of the week. If for any reason you cannot get that to us by the end of the week, please let me know what the hang up is. Let me know, why it can't be in on Friday, and we will try our best to help you so that we can get those materials from you. Sometimes it's like, oh, we don't have a photo yet. That's okay. Get us as much of the materials as you can, because chances are we'll be able to find some kind of photo that represents your group. And we really would like to at least get started on those pages ASAP. We will also have a future workshop that's going to be live and in person in the MSU 312. That's on October 16th. And believe it or not, folks, that's just 1 week away from our giving challenge, 9 days. So you want to come to that finale workshop and ask any last minute questions. Do a check-in with us. Let us know your plan and strategy. Just to stop by, for a quick chat and maybe a lot of hype. We want to definitely hype up our teams and get them excited to launch for the 25th. The toolkit link is right here on this slide. If you can't find what you're looking for in the toolkit or on any of the other links that are there, please reach out to me. First of all, not only can I hopefully answer the question and give you the resources you're looking for, it will help us build a stronger program and stronger plan for years in the future. So please don't hesitate to come to me if you're looking for something specific and you can't find it. I will be sending emails this week, next week, and the following with additional tips and tricks about social media, about strategy for your team, and also giving you a few examples of how to text, email, or make posts that will encourage your network of support to give during 1866.